So I see a lot of posts about the rapture and the Antichrist and tribulation, and I'm talking about it with people too. And so I just kind of wanted to come on here and give my 2 cents. Although I think it's important to know what's going on, like God very clearly tells us to be aware and that people perish for lack of knowledge. I also think that it's not a salvation issue. And I don't think we're going to be judged in heaven based on if we're pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib. I think that it's important to know when things are happening. I absolutely believe that Jesus is going to be coming back on the Feast of Trumpets, which is usually like, I think, September-ish. And so for me, it's not a salvation issue, although I definitely think it's important to be aware, because let's say there are a lot of people talking about the rapture or the Antichrist, tribulation, whatever, it's going to start this year. So if that is the case, then pre-tribulation people, we're leaving in September. And if people believe if we leave mid-tribulation, we have 3.5 years. And if people believe that we leave post-tribulation at the end, then we leave in 7 years, counting as September. And I do not think we're going to be judged in heaven based on when we leave for tribulation or whatever. But I do think are we preparing our houses for the 7 years that tribulation, or longer than that, for people to find Jesus at our house? Sorry, it's got windy. If we believe that we're leaving pre-tribulation, are our houses ready for people to find Jesus? If we believe that if we leave mid-tribulation, 3.5 years, are we going to be prepared to have enough food and water and these things to welcome people into our home to share Jesus? So I don't think it's as important to be right about when we're leaving, but what are we doing to prepare ourselves and to prepare our homes for people who aren't leaving? And I think it is important to have these conversations and talk about it and to, look at the word and see what it says and have an opinion on it. But I feel like there's so many people that are, we have the red heifers, and we have the Pope is dying, and all of these things are happening. And yes, we are absolutely supposed to be looking at that, and we are absolutely supposed to be aware, and we are absolutely supposed to be preparing for any of it. Wind. At least I'm outside finally. But I think that when people get so caught up in it, to where that's all you think about, and there's all this fear, then I think that your theology is a little off, so I don't know. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in, and I don't know when we're leaving, but my house will be prepared for 7 years for sure. And I think that it's important that we are, if the rapture is in September, or 3.5 years, or 7 years, that is not a lot of time. And what are you doing to bring people into the fold and to bring people with you? Because we're not going to be judged based on our theology. Obviously, there are things we absolutely will be that are against the word of God. That's not what I'm talking about. But are you loving people? Are you being the gospel? Are you being Jesus to people? Or are you wanting to be right and are wanting to hold to, your system of thinking, instead of having these conversations and being a safe space for people? Because I just see that there are so many Christians that all they want to talk about is, and again, I do think it's very important that we know what's going on, but are you also bringing people to Jesus? Are you also prepared that when someone finds your home, that they're going to know that you left because Jesus is real, and you left things for them to survive and to find him as well? So that's my 2 cents.